don't think there's another team in the NBA more than the Charlotte Hornets that desperately need to draft somebody to save their franchise. The future does not look too bright in Charlotte, and Victor Wembanyama could possibly be that player that saves the franchise. So what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? We are going to, like I said, save the Hornets by drafting Wembanyama with the #1 pick in the draft. It's crazy because everybody asks like each year who is going to be the bust of this class. It's pretty much whoever the Charlotte Hornets draft. You look back in 2012 when they took Michael Kidd-Gilchrist 2nd overall. In 2013, they took Cody Zeller 4th overall. They had back-to-back years in 2014 and 15 with the 9th overall pick, and they whiffed on 2 big men. They took Noah Vonleh with #9 in 2014 and Frank the Tank Kaminsky with #9 in 2015. In 2017, they took Malik Monk ahead of Donovan Mitchell. In 2018, they could have taken Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but they traded him for Miles Bridges. And their most recent whiff was in the 2021 draft when they took James Bouknight with the 11th overall pick, and he has not panned out in Charlotte whatsoever. So Hornets fans, let's get into this. All right, before we get into this long Hornets rebuild, I want to give a quick plug to my podcast. It is returning. It's no longer the Just Ballin' podcast. It's just going to be called the Matt Geist podcast. I'm going to talk about just anything that I want in the sports world. So in episode 1, I give my March Madness bracket. I talked to Jeremy Frank. You might know him in the baseball world. He works for the Chicago Cubs. He gave his bracket, and I also gave my opinion on the MVP debate. Spotify, Apple Pod, YouTube video links are in the description below. I'd really appreciate it if you checked it out, and let's get into this rebuild. It's a fun one. It's funny enough because I was going to trade for the #1 overall pick if I didn't get, but I actually got it in the lottery. We'll keep Steve Clifford for one more season. I don't think he's going to be my long-term coach though. After the Warriors rebuild, I still have injuries on, but the frequency is a lot lower, and I'm going to invest all my budget basically into my training staff. Can I go 4 for 4? Yes, I can. Now, I might be exaggerating when I'm saying they need to draft somebody that's going to save their franchise, but LaMelo Ball is their future. He's the guy they're building around. It's unfortunate that he had a season-ending injury this year, but it feels like LaMelo is that type of guy that probably doesn't have the most patience in the world to be playing for the Hornets. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I would say it's a possibility that he's going to eventually want out if they don't turn things around sooner than later. Another bright spot for the Hornets this season has been the center, Mark Williams. The rookie out of Duke has been a monster on the boards as of late, and it's come along post All-Star break. And I want to start him next season, so Victor Wembanyama is going to be our power forward because he'll be able to space the floor. PJ Washington will be a restricted free agent. I do want to bring him back to be a nice bench piece. Gordon Hayward, expiring contract. I'll see if anybody wants him. If not, we got to ride him out for a year, then maybe buy him out at the deadline. Now, Terry Rozier. I'm going to try to get another first-round pick in this draft, and I'm going to plan on moving him to add another young wing. And like I said in the beginning of the video, they've whipped on James Bouknight. I would still like to try to give him some minutes next season. I like Nick Richards a lot too. He's going to be my backup 5 behind Mark Will. I'm losing hope on JT Thor and Kai Jones as well. Man, the Hornets really just whiffed on all their picks in the 2021 draft. And I like Dennis Smith Jr. as a backup point guard option, so I'm going to look to reset him in the offseason as well. We're not a big free agency destination over here in Charlotte at the moment. So like I said, with the #1 overall pick, we're going to take Victor Wembanyama. Hopefully saves the franchise. We're going to trade Terry Rozier to the Lakers for Max Christie and the 16th overall pick in this draft. Max Christie is going to fight out for those backup wing minutes with James Bouknight and a potential player that we take at 16. So we're going to offer this to them. I believe they will accept it. They counter. They will give me a 2025 lottery protected first for 2 seconds. If you're going to counter with that, I can't say no. That deal is done. Rozier had an underrated time in Charlotte. The Lakers are definitely going to appreciate his shooting. Brandon Miller went after Jarace Walker and Scoot Henderson. Whoa, Jalen Hood-Schifino above Amen Thompson. Jed Howard just went to the Pelicans. He's somebody that I was going to target. And I'm going to look to take Maxwell Lewis out of Pepperdine. He's not as hyped up as some of these other prospects that played at bigger name schools, but this dude can score. He's very efficient at the rim. And he's going to be a first-round pick in this year's draft. We do have one of the last picks of the draft, so I'm going to take RJ Davis. Shout out UNC. And the 2023 draft has concluded. We're going to sign all 3 rookies. Victor Wembanyama. We're going to move him to the power forward spot, like I mentioned before. Maxwell Lewis and RJ Davis. Whoa, we have a lot of team options to decide with here. As much as I don't want to pay James Bouknight $4.5 million, I'm going to bring him back. We're actually going to pick up the team options on everybody here. Man, KP would be fun in Charlotte to try to pair him up with LaMelo Ball. all, but we have Mark Williams and Wemby in that front court, and we have the backup front court right here. We're going to try to re-sign in PJ Washington and Nick Richards. Brook Lopez would be a fun guy too to sign, but he definitely doesn't fit our timeline. I'm also trying to figure out what we want to do with Cody Martin. He is making 7.5 this year, 8 next year, and a team option for 8.5 the year after that. So with that control, he could be valuable, so I should probably give him a decent amount of minutes to try to get that value up by the deadline. All right, so let's lock up Nick Richards. 3 years, going to be north of $27 million total. He's 25. I think he's actually a really underrated player and could break out next season in real life. And we are going to sign him on that. We'll monitor Kelly Oubre. It's unfortunate that they didn't get an asset from him at the deadline. Coming off an all right season, not the best efficiency. And since he was restricted, I'm not going to be able to get that deal done. It's whatever. I'll get him back on that type of deal next year. I hate 2K with that. All right, and we're also looking to lock up PJ Washington as well. Going to give him around $13.5 million for the first 2 seasons, and then a team option on the 3rd year where it's going to go a little bit north of $14.5 million. I want to invest in this backup front court for sure, so let's get him back. I'm going to offer Dennis Smith Jr. a 1-year deal to come back as our backup point guard. We are going to re-announce the rights on Kelly Oubre. He will not be back. As Kyrie signs with the Magic, KP to the Rockets, Brook Lopez to the Wizards, Vucevic to Dallas, Kuzma to Detroit, Miles Bridges to Houston, Fred VanVleet to San Antonio, Christian Wood to Utah. Whoa, Cameron Johnson to the Cavs. That's insane. All right, maybe not insane, but a nice under the radar move. Or you know what I mean, like a nice underrated move. So yeah, let's pretty much advance here. Let me just make sure that we have enough roster spots for next year's season. Oh yeah, we have plenty of roster spots. Let's take a look here at player progression where Gordon Hayward is regressing a line. Yeah, there's a chance I want to give some of the younger guys more playing time, so he could be bought out if I can't find a deal. I mean, $31 million could be tough to trade mid-season. So we have a 10-man rotation for next year's season. We're going to go with a little bit more of a veteran wing duo with Martin and Hayward there. LaMelo at the 1, Wemby at the 4, and Mark Williams at the 5. We have Nick Richards and PJ Washington off the bench, both getting 23 minutes a night. We have 18 to the rookie Maxwell Lewis, 15 to Dennis Smith Jr. as the backup point guard. Let me actually just drop DSJ1. Or no, let's keep him at 15. LaMelo is going to, or no. We're going to drop him down to 14 so they can go on off and they're not really going to play with each other. So I'm going to go 19 to Maxwell Lewis and then 15 to Max Christie. So James Bouknight will not be playing. He will be one of the first guys in though if an injury does happen. Because I want to see what I can get out of Max Christie. And under Steve Clifford and Pace and Space, we're 3 stars. All right, so first game of the season on the road against Detroit. We end up losing by 8. I don't plan on being great this season. LaMelo has 30 and 10. Cody Martin, yep, we need you to get that trade value up. End up losing by 2 to the Pacers here. Wemby with 25 and 10 in the second game of his career. Come on, let's get our first win in Milwaukee. Okay, we win by 14. Giannis had 31. LaMelo 33, 6, 12, and 3. Nick Richards with 24 points and 5 rebounds off the bench. 22 and 13 for Wemby. 14 and 8 for Mark Williams. Nice game here from Maxwell Lewis as well. Hit 3 threes. Shout out to LaMelo Ball being an all-star reserve on Team Luka. He's averaging a career high in points, in assists at 10.2. He might be leading the league as well, 64% true shooting percentage. He could win an MVP in this video if we take a look at the league leaders in assists. Oh my God, no. He's 5th. Trae Young's at almost 13 a night. Victor Wembanyama is leading the Rookie of the Year race right now. He's shooting 44% from 3. I love him at the power forward spot. We're 25 and 28. We're mid. Wemby is number 2 on the team in scoring. PJ Washington off the bench at about 10.5 points a night, 2.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. The efficiency is one of the best of his career, just tying or close to 2022's. Yeah, Gordon Hayward is probably going to get bought out at the deadline. He is bad. Nobody's going to want him. Maxwell Lewis, not too bad. I might start Lewis for the remainder of the season. Maybe move Martin to the 3 if I don't move him, but he could be moved as well because he's shooting 39 from 3, 85 from the line. Really like to see that. Cody Martin's been playing okay. He still might have some trade value. Nick Richards is a beast backup center. You could make an argument he's better than Mark Williams. Max Christie is shooting 42 from 3, but 38 from the field. DSJ's been okay in his limited minutes as well. So we've been very healthy this season. So we've had a couple minor injuries to Mark Williams and PJ Washington, but nobody has really had to miss any games yet. Watch me jinx that like here against. Oh my God, I jinxed it. There it is. Of course, it was to LaMelo Ball as well, but a nice 3-point victory against the Bucks. And yes, Cody Martin, get that trade value up. Final game here before the All-Star break. We end up losing by 2 to the Hawks. So we could easily be a play-in tournament team. If we take a look at the standings right now, we are the 10th seed in the East. You know what? I'm going to keep Cody Martin around. So the only move that we're going to make at the deadline is basically releasing Gordon Hayward. Mark Williams is apparently unhappy. Not really sure why. Maybe he does want more minutes, which we could definitely do. What is going on, 2K? So let's advance here through the deadline. So with Gordon Hayward out of the rotation, we're going to give some minutes to James Bouknight. He's going to get about, I think, 17 with Max Christie. And I'm going to give about 25 to Maxwell Lewis, and we'll go one more to LaMelo Ball. So with no Gordon Hayward, do we get better? At home, we end up losing by 9 to the Pistons. But Maxwell Lewis, man, he's a hooper. Of course, I can't re-sign Nick Richards now, but yeah, we don't really have any extensions to make. Looks like Max Christie wants to leave. That's fine. I'm just glad either one of him, James Bouknight or Maxwell Lewis was going to ball out this season. And it's Lewis, who I have 3 more years of team control under. Hold up. We just scored 157 points against the Blazers. LaMelo had 34-19. PJ Washington, 21 off the bench. 18 for Maxwell Lewis. 18 for Wemby. Richards had a double-double, and same with Cody Martin as well. I mean, we're hovering around 500. I think we could be a play-in tournament team. We're going to find out, which I don't love, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, we finished 41-41. I think that's just a testament of how good LaMelo is. And yeah, we got Wemby getting us Rookie of the Year. 59% true shooting, 41 from 3, 80 from the line, 3.5 assists as well, over a steal a night, 1.7 blocks a night. 6 Man of the Year goes to Ben Simmons, Giannis Depoy, Garland Most Improved, and Quinn Snyder Coach of the Year. Shout out to LaMelo Ball making All-NBA second team, Victor Wembanyama on All-Defensive second team as well as All-Rookie first team, Maxwell Lewis on All-Rookie second team. And yeah, we are the 8th seed. Wow, we're taking on the Pistons in round 1 of the play-in tournament. They finished with 3 more wins than us. I think one of the brightest spots for us this year was Maxwell Lewis, 42 from 3, 85 from the line. He might be our long-term 3 or 2, wherever we decide to put him at. Cody Martin still finished all right, 55% true shooting. It's not the best in the world, but it's not the worst. It's not like he was a negative player for us. He's 28. We need some veterans on the team. PJ Washington, I thought, was a good bench player. Nick Richards could low-key be better than Mark Williams. I think we're going to have like a center duel next year on who's going to start for us. So for the playoffs, I don't think Max Christie's going to be in our long-term plans. I mean, for the playoffs, like we might just lose these next 2 games and we're done. I'm going to give James Bouknight and Dennis Smith Jr. about 15 minutes a night. We might stick with 23 to these guys. I want to go up 33 to Wemby, 32 to Williams is fine, 29 to Cody Martin. Let's do 30 to Maxwell Lewis, and let's do 40 to LaMelo Ball. So we're taking on the Detroit Pistons, like I said. They have Jalen Hood-Schifino starting at their point guard spot. He really didn't play a lot. They took him with the 5th pick. They have Yusuf Nurkic, another big man there. Jeez, they get Kelly Oubre. Yeah, you have Stewart and Wiseman off the bench. TJ Warren, Jonathan Isaac, and we can obviously tell that Cade Cunningham is hurt. So no Cade Cunningham. We should win this game unless he had a day-to-day injury and he just came back. We are on the road, though, at the Little Caesars Arena, unless they've changed that name. But we're up by 17 at the moment. Maxwell Lewis, let's go, man. And that was the guy we got in exchange for Terry Rozier. So I don't feel bad about Max Christie leaving because we got Maxwell Lewis. LaMelo, not playing all that well shooting-wise, but he has 14 assists. Nurkic has 19 points. Let's just not choke this in the 4th, and we blow them out. Holy crap, by 37 points. LaMelo finished with 27 and 21. Lewis finished with 19. Wemby with a double-double, and we are advancing to the playoffs as the 7th seed. I mean, we're taking on this sick Cavs team who have the most improved player in Garland. They have Donovan Mitchell, Cam Johnson, who they signed, Mobley, Jared Allen. They have Nah off the bench with Dwight Powell, Thad Young, Mike Muscala, Dean Wade. A lot of bigs there. Looks like Isaac Okoro is possibly hurt, or they're really just not playing him at all. So if I could win one game, I would be happy in this series. I don't really expect to, but if we can make this close, I'll also be happy. We only lost by 6 in game 1. LaMelo had a 27-point triple-double. Wemby had a great game too, yeah. Okay, like our top 5 played almost perfect, at least shooting-wise, and we ended up still losing. Game 2 ends in an L as well. This time we get blown out by 19 points. Donovan Mitchell and Garland combined for 70 against us. Mark Williams had 23 points. Can we win Game 4? Oh, LaMelo Ball out for the playoffs. Yeah, James Bouknight can't hit a shot either. Kai Jones is probably going to enter the rotation. You know what? Let's give Maxwell Lewis and Wemby 37 minutes a night each. This series is over. We're without LaMelo for the playoffs, which is fine. Let this happen to me right now, but not next year and the years after that. I think we can contend. Lost by 21, but Maxwell Lewis with 27. This guy's a beast, man. He is a stud. Game 4, we ended up winning. Oh my God, by 20. Wemby with 26, Lewis with 23. Now, Lewis didn't shoot the best, but not the worst either. It could be a lot worse. I mean, yeah, it wasn't great. PJ 23, Mark Williams with a good game. Dude, this one, like, made me happy. 5 steals for Wemby, 6 assists. Do we make this a series? Now, we end up losing in 5, which is fine. We get blown out. But, yeah, Wemby played well. Maxwell Lewis shot the ball fine. He only took 9 shots. He had 4 threes. Zion is your Western Conference Finals MVP. Trae Young, your Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And the 2024 NBA champions are the New Orleans Pelicans, with Zion being your Finals MVP. So, since we made the playoffs, we do not own our first-round pick. That's going to the Spurs at 17. It's bounced around from a few teams. Was on the Knicks, Hornets for Kai Jones, basically, and then it was shipped to Atlanta in the Cam Reddish trade, and then to San Antonio in the DeJounte Murray trade. The Rockets, via the Nets from the Harden deal, have the number 1 pick. Jazz at 2, Spurs at 3. You know what, Steve Clifford? I'm going to keep you around. And shout out to our training staff, man. Like, we barely didn't have any injuries. It was still, like, LaMelo at the end of the year, which was fine. If that's going to happen, it's going to happen. So we don't own a first-round pick, but that's fine. I really don't want to add too much young talent to this team. LaMelo's 22. Wemby's 20. Mark Williams is 22. Maxwell Lewis is 20. Like, a lot of these guys are very young. We need to add some type of veterans, either via the trade market or free agency. So Xavier Booker goes number 1 to the Rockets. That's just insane, the talent they have over there. Aaron Bradshaw 2 to the Jazz. Matas Buzuelis to the Spurs at 3. And then who did the Spurs take with the pick they had from us? Omaha Bielu. Okay. We got Ja Walter there. He's 18 at pick 47. We're going to pick it up. James Bouknight for $6 million. We're going to let walk. And Kai Jones for $4.6 million. We're going to let walk as well. That's $10 million cleared up. Picking up the team option on Mark Williams. JT Thor for around $2 million. And RJ Davis, you know what? I'm going to decline all of them. Sunk cost fallacy. Let's just let it go. We're definitely giving Nick Richards and Max Christie the qualifying offers. LaMelo's about to get paid. Bryce McGowan somehow wants $7 million after not playing at all last year. Okay, T.O. Maudon, I will not be re-signing as well. Plan on bringing back Richards, but I'm going to wait till after moratorium. LaMelo, I'm going to probably match any deal he gets. So right now, we could look at another point guard if we wanted to. I could look for another veteran wing. Now, I do want to start Maxwell Lewis, so I think more of like a 6th man type. Tobias Harris, a former Charlotte Hornet, maybe was a Charlotte Bobcat at that time? Wait. No, he was never in Charlotte. Why am I picturing him as a Bobcat? I guess it was those Milwaukee Bucks jerseys I'm thinking of. I don't hate that. He's 32 years old, and it doesn't fit our system all that well, but he could be a good... man, he's coming off a really brutal shooting season. I mean, Middleton, but yeah, he wants too much money. We could look at Bogdan Bogdanovic. Man, not a lot of good veteran wings out here. So I'm going to extend the offer to Tobias Harris to possibly come off the bench for us. It's just going to be a 1-year deal. I'm not going to add any option on it. We have a ton of cap space as it is, and I think he could get paid, about like $17.5 million. He's not getting that from another team at the age of 32. And yeah, we're going to offer that to him. We're going to have to match any deal that LaMelo Ball gets. I'm not going to renounce rights on Dennis Smith, but we will on RJ Davis, on Kai Jones, on JT Thor, on Bryce McGowan, and James Bouknight. As LaMelo Ball gets a deal from the Raptors, we are going to match that. Let's now give Nick Richards a similar deal that I wanted to give him last year. And boom, there we go. I do want to bring back Dennis Smith Jr. as our point guard, so I'll give him a little bit of player flexibility and a player option on that 1-year deal. So we have about 10 guys in our rotation. We'll see if Max Christie comes back on the qualifying offer. I'm going to sign Aaron Holiday to be our 3rd string point guard and Marquise Chris to be our 3rd team center. And lastly, we're going to pick up John Conchar on a 2-year deal with a team option to possibly be somebody that can end up entering the rotation if injuries do happen. So we get Marquise Chris, we get Conchar, and we get Aaron Holiday. Jaylen Brown goes to Toronto, and Pascal Siakam goes to the Clippers. Some huge moves there. Lonzo to the Raptors as well. And yeah, we ended up getting Max Christie back on the qualifying offer. We have 290 overalls, man. Wemby at the 4 actually might be a cheat code. We have LaMelo up to a 94. Harris doesn't regress, which is good in his 3-point rating goes up. I'll take that. Mark Williams up a rating. There's Nick Richards. They might play a similar amount of minutes. Like, each of them might just get 24 minutes a night. Normally, I think I would want Maxwell Lewis being the 6th man, but I kind of like a veteran running that 2nd unit, and that can be Tobias Harris for us. So we're going to start Maxwell Lewis at the 3 and Cody Martin at the 2. All right, so we're going to end up only being a 9-man rotation to start the year. LaMelo getting 36 minutes a night. Cody Martin as our starting 2 getting 28. We have 29 minutes to Maxwell Lewis, 33 to Wemby, 27 to Mark Williams, a little bit more than Richards at 24. Tobias Harris as our 6th man with 27 minutes, 23 to Washington, and 13 to Dennis Smith Jr. We rate as a 3-star pace and space team. Maxwell Lewis, not a great fit. We'll keep an eye on that. First game of the season is home against the Bucks, and we end up, this would be a nice win if we could pull it off. Nope, we end up losing by 4. Richards was our leading scorer. Okay. Then we're home against 2 New York teams, and we win them both. We beat them both actually by 12. We beat the Knicks 115-103. LaMelo had an insane triple-double. And then we beat the Nets as Wemby drops 40 points and 13 rebounds, as well as 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 0 turnovers in 31 minutes. LaMelo had a double-double. So did Tobias Harris. So yeah, hopefully we are much better this year. Man, Cody Martin's had some nasty injuries this season, and he's playing really well too, which is a shame. We're about a quarter of the way through the season, and we are 10-4. We started off the season, I think, like 10-2, and LaMelo's like getting off to an insane start. So is Wemby with like that efficiency, and I think we're utilizing him the best to his ability, because sometimes I draft Wemby or see Wemby, and his efficiency really isn't that good. So I think putting him at power forward is the move. Maxwell Lewis, I think, has been just fine as a starter at the age of 21. Man, we are seeing an amazing jump from this team right now. We are currently 15 games above 500. We just hit 30 wins on January 18th after just dropping 150 on the Indiana Pacers. Hell yeah, LaMelo, 39-14. Oh my god, him and Wemby combined for 78. This pick and roll duo is absurd. So we went 0-4 when LaMelo went down. Watch us go 3-0 when he comes back. Now I end up losing to Toronto there. Ooh, okay. So we're about like 1-5 in our last 6, which is obviously not great. LaMelo Ball is a starter on Team Giannis, and Wemby in his second season is a reserve on Team Luka. The NBA also added a 13th All-Star to each team. And can we go into the trade deadline 15 games above 500? Come on. Yes, we can. We end up winning by 24 in this one. So I don't think I'm going to make any changes. Like, we're seeing such good progression with this team. We're currently the 4 seed in the East. I like our mixture of young players and veterans. I think Tobias Harris has been amazing for us. Kind of wish I gave him a 2-year deal. Maxwell Lewis has been fine. 57% true shooting as a starter. Cody Martin, much better this season. I'm like debating giving Nick Richards those starting center minutes. I don't know though. We'll see. Mark Williams does have another team option year though at the end of the year. There's PJ. Christie's gotten some minutes due to Cody Martin's injury. Same with Holiday with LaMelo. Conchar got some minutes when Wemby got hurt. But yeah, I'm not going to make any trades. We're going through the deadline, not making any moves. Michael Porter Jr. was traded for Drew Holiday. Malcolm Brogdon and Grant Williams for Paul George. Brooke Lopez for Bojan. Jeremy Grant for Derek White. Jordan Poole and Gary Payton for Gary Trent and Jordan Clarkson. Wow, a lot of big moves this season. Clint Capella for Christian Wood as well. And we have no contracts to re-sign. And LaMelo Ball wins MVP this year. Hell yeah. Ron Holland is your Rookie of the Year. Full 6-man in Cleveland behind Garland. Mobley in Cleveland as well gets Depoy. Shaedon Sharpe, Most Improved. And Nick Nurse of Toronto gets Coach of the Year. So LaMelo currently injured, but not for much longer. All-NBA first team. I told you he was going to win an MVP in this video. And Wemby on All-NBA's second team in his second season. There we go. He also gets All-Defensive second team with LaMelo. Man, this is going to be a top duo in the league. We did finish the season as the 5th seed, though a little bit lower what you'd expect with the MVP. And this Magic team is kind of good. You have 2 former Nets point guards and 1 current one, I guess, in Dinwiddie and Kyrie. Franz Bowl, Sabonis. Where is Banchero? Is he hurt? You have Amen Thompson, Carter Jr., George, Caleb Houston off the bench. And yeah, Banchero's hurt. Like I said, I was a big fan of the way this team performed this year. Dennis Smith Jr. is probably going to get like 10 minutes a night for the playoffs. I think we're going to roll about 22 to Richards and Washington. Maybe even 20. Now we'll keep 27 to Tobias. Probably 26 to Mark Williams. 35 to Wemby. We definitely want to go 40 to LaMelo. And then 1 more minute. Let's give it to Maxwell Lewis. System proficiency is up to 3.5 stars. And here goes nothing. Battle of 2 Southeast teams. We take home game 1 by a ton. Wemby with 35-9. LaMelo fully healthy. 27-8-20. And we take home game 2 as well. We win by 8 both in Orlando. LaMelo Ball is a superstar. We knew that already. Game 3 goes to the Orlando Magic. They end up winning by 21. Kyrie 24-7-7. Are they going to tie it up? No, we take a 3-1 lead. We win by 12. LaMelo with 36-5, 13-3. Yeah, LaMelo is going off in the playoffs so far, really playing like an MVP. I just love the way Maxwell Lewis has played for us in the playoffs. And game 5 is going to go to the Charlotte Hornets, and we advance. We win by 23 points as LaMelo had 22 assists. Wemby with 26, 10, and 6. Lewis with 21 points. And are we taking on Toronto or Boston? That was the Jaylen Brown series, and Toronto advances. That team is kind of loaded with Lonzo Brown, Barnes, Brandon Miller, Koloko. I thought they had Siakam, but yeah, Siakam ended up going to the Clippers. Game 1, the Charlotte Hornets win by 1 point in overtime. LaMelo versus Lonzo. Lonzo went off in this game, but so did his brother. Wemby only took 9 shots. He had 10 offensive rebounds. Game 2 goes to the Toronto Raptors. They end up winning by 22. Yeah, I mean, like, that Raptors team is sick. Game 3 is going to go to the Charlotte Hornets as we end up winning by 7 in Charlotte. Wemby only taking 9 shots, but 12 free throw attempts. Come on, go up 3-1. No, they tied up 2-2. Wow, just no defense being played by us. We give up 149 points. As we load 55 points to Scotty Barnes. He's not like that. That's actually kind of crazy. Game 5 goes to the Toronto Raptors. Ugh, they won by 14. And here we go, backs against the wall, and for the second straight year. It's like my only major injury this year, and it happens to LaMelo in the playoffs. Are you kidding me? Well, yeah, we're screwed. So, like, we're forced to play Aaron Holiday 15 minutes a night, and then we're going to have to play Dennis Smith Jr., like, 28 minutes. I guess we'll just rely on Wemby to play 38 minutes for us, unless he can carry us. Like, we're going to lose this game. I know we're going to lose. This Raptors team is too good. I mean, Wemby's probably killing it. Yeah, he's going to drop 40 points, but we are going to lose. I'm not getting my hopes up, even if we force a Game 7. We're not beating this Raptors team without LaMelo Ball. Wow, we just had an all-time choke job. Oh, my goodness. We just blew a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, gave up 50 points, and then get outscored by 11 in overtime. Wow, what a choke. Jaylen Brown is your Eastern Conference Finals MVP, Zion Western Conference Finals MVP, and the finals are going to go to the Toronto Raptors, with Brown being your finals MVP. We do have the Lakers' first-round pick at 19, as well as our first-round pick at 23. Clifford's coming back for another year. The number 1 overall pick is Dylan Harper out of Rutgers. Robert Dillingham, who I know is going to be a stud, goes to out of Kentucky, goes to the Wizards at 2. Third overall pick is traded for De'Aaron Fox. Ian Jackson was taken out of Duke, so that's pretty much how the top 5 looked. It's a loaded class at the moment. We're taking Aid Holloway here with our first round pick, and Dallas Thomas with our second first round pick. We also ended up with VJ Miller there in the second round. These guys have the potential, like, chance to get traded. A lot of team options to deal with here. We're going to pick up the team option on PJ Washington, definitely Cody Martin. Dennis Smith Jr. opts out. Maxwell Lewis is coming back. Conchar, we're not going to bring back. Ja Walter, I'm going to bring back. He's still only 19. We'll give Max Christie the qualifying offer again. You know what? I think Ada Holiday could be the backup point guard, but I mean, like, I liked having a veteran back there like Dennis Smith Jr. Speaking of getting a good veteran back there, we're going to make this trade with the Boston Celtics. Marcus Smart's on an expiring contract. They were just the 8 seed. He's 31 years old. We're giving them Ada Holiday and Dallas Thomas to improve our defense and just some veteran leadership off the bench. Keita Bates-Diop is also going to be in this trade, but might not play for us. So yeah, we're getting Marcus Smart, who's going to replace the Dennis Smith minutes. He's not going to play a ton because we have LaMelo Ball, but that is a massive upgrade there. I'd also like to bring back Tobias Harris, but I'm not sure what his asking price is going to be, and can we even afford him? 13 mil, I mean, that's fine. I would give him a 2-year deal, even give him some player flexibility if he wants to opt out. LeBron goes back to the Lakers on a 1-year deal. You know what, Dennis Smith Jr. might find a home here, but yeah, Max Christie's going to get an offer from the Thunder. We're not giving him $8 million a year, so go enjoy OKC, Christie. We're going to bring back Noah Bombay to Charlotte, where his career started. Tobias Harris does regress a little bit. All right, if LaMelo Ball does not get hurt this year, we can win it all. All right, so for the regular season, LaMelo Ball and Victor Wembanyama are going to get 35 minutes apiece. We're going to go 28 to Mark Williams, 26 to Cody Martin. I did not think I was going to still be playing Cody Martin, but he was fantastic for us last season. We're going to go 31 to Maxwell Lewis. And then the bench, we're still going to be a 9-man rotation. We're going to play these 4 guys, a decent amount, like 26 to Tobias, 24 to Richards, 18 to PJ Washington, and 17 to Marcus Smart. We're 3.5 star pace in space. Hopefully we can get up to 4 stars by the end of the year. First game of the season's on the road against Cleveland. Yeah, that is a tough start to the year, which is fine. I just need LaMelo not to get hurt in the playoffs. That's all I need. I think we could be a top 3 seed in the East for sure. That's a Cody Martin, man. I just need him to be efficient from 3 this year. And LaMelo could definitely go back to back in the MVP award category. So we got LaMelo as an all-star on Team Jokic. He's putting up better numbers in his MVP season. 70% true shooting. He is absurd in this game. I wonder what he'd be like. I would say like as a shooting guard, but he's averaging 13 assists, so I don't need to do that. I was hoping that he was going to be like a captain. It would have been sick if him and Wemby were going to be captains, because look at these Wemby numbers. He could be MVP. Like, this is an insane point guard power forward duo. We are 30 games above 500. I don't think I'm going to make any deadline moves. I like this team a lot, but Toronto is also really freaking good, and they beat us last year. They've added John Collins. I guess Brandon Miller was kind of hurt at the moment. I mean, we could look to maybe upgrade the shooting guard spot if we want to leave Cody Martin, but I like LaMelo scoring 32 and Wemby scoring 24, and then we have 4 other guys that could be in double digits, like Cody Martin, who's a good 3-point shooter for us, Mark Williams, who's averaging double digits for the first time in his career, Maxwell Lewis. Maybe the efficiency hasn't been as good and it's dropping off a little bit, but he's shown that he can play well for us in the playoffs, and we have Tobias Harris, who we could start if needed. Like Marcus Smart not scoring a lot of points. I don't need that. I need his veteran leadership and his defensive ability. So I don't know. Obviously, we could make a trade, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna ride this core. There is another season because I want to win a championship with this team. I'm gonna give Marcus Smart a 2-year extension. PJ Washington, I'd also like to bring back as well on a 2-year deal. No options, sure. $5 million. It's a lot cheaper than what I'm paying him right now. Cody Martin, same thing. I like this core. It's a fun team. I'm enjoying building this roster internally. Like my biggest pickup, not through the draft, like with Wemby, was Tobias Harris. I guess Marcus Smart as well. Mark Williams breaks his finger. Let's not do this. All right, let's just get all our injuries out of the way now. We can play through it. It's not the end of the world if Williams did go down, since we have Nick Richards and Cody Martin tears his ACL. Okay. That hurts. It's not the worst player to get hurt. I think this means we're going to start Marcus Smart. Yeah, we're going to start Marcus Smart because I kind of like Tobias Harris' scoring ability off the bench. Therefore, do I give those minutes to Keita Bates-Diop or Dennis Smith Jr.? I could play VJ Miller, who was a second-round pick for us, or Ja Walter. I'm going to give those minutes to Keita Bates-Diop for now. It's only going to be like 12 for the playoffs. Marcus Smart is going to get about 25 minutes. We can kind of do a similar playoff rotation right now. 30 there. I mean, like, this is obviously going to change. I mean, we just won 63 games. I'm almost certain that we're going to have the MVP again, and that is LaMelo Ball. Robert Dillingham, Rookie of the Year. James Harden, 6 Man of the Year. Give me Wemby Depoy. No, it goes to Evan Mobley. We do get Coach of the Year, though. LaMelo and Wemby on All-NBA first team. These two stay healthy. We're winning it all. Both of them made All-Defensive second team as well. We did beat out the Raptors for the 1 seed. We're taking on Miami in round 1. They still have Jimmy, Bam, and Hero. Just absurd numbers from LaMelo and Wemby this season. It sucks we're going to be without Cody Martin. He's been such a big part of our team. So, Keita Bates-Diop, I think 12 minutes is fine for him off the bench. I think we could stick with some of these. Maybe it's like 26 to Harris, maybe still 28 to Mark Williams. I would like to go 40 to both Wemby and LaMelo Ball. So it's going to look something like that. Maybe 40 to Wemby is a bad idea. Let's just beat Miami, please, in round 1. Let's sweep them. We beat them by 48. Okay. As long as we stay healthy, like, we're going to sweep them in this series. Just nobody get hurt. Thank you. Thank you. We end up sweeping them. LaMelo averaged 42 and 13 in those 4 games. Now we're taking on Cleveland. This is a tough-ass round 2 matchup. So Mobley, oh, wow, we're getting a little bit of some injury luck on our side. They also have Chris Middleton. Not sure how they were able to pull that off. What a defensive 4th quarter by us. We are up 2-0. LaMelo with 41, 13, and 21. He is putting up the craziest stat lines. We do drop game 3. Every time we lose them, we're like, oh, did somebody get hurt? Game 4, my God, okay. Let's not lose this. Game 5 at home. We have a great start, but after that blown game 6 lead last year to Toronto, no lead is safe in my eyes with this team right now. We end up winning, so we're up 3 games to 2. Can we please win in 6? I do not want to go to 7 games. This game is definitely going to be a lot closer than game 5 was. We're down by 4. We're definitely going to a game 7, right? Come on, can we pull away? Let's go. We have a great 4th quarter. LaMelo Ball is actually healthy going into the conference finals. Toronto is 8-2 in the playoffs so far. These are definitely the 2 best teams possibly in the NBA. They win game 1 by 5. Please win game 2, and we do. Thankfully, we end up winning by 9. Game 3 goes to the Hornets. I'm scared. I'm just scared someone's going to get hurt. Wemby only played 32 minutes? What's up with that? Don't tell me Wemby's hurt. Okay, we end up going up 3 games to 1. LaMelo had 58 and 9. Oh my God, that's absurd. And can we win in 5? No! Why couldn't we win that game? Why couldn't we win this? I'm not doing this. I'm not going to a game 7 and blowing a 3-1 lead. Oh my God, okay. We're down by 15. We're going to a game 7. We really just blew a 3-1 lead to go to the 7th game. LaMelo had 39 and 9. It wasn't enough. All right, here we go. We're at home at least. Oh my God, man. We're already down by 9. Are you goddamn kidding me? What? We blow a 3-1 lead? Get out of here, man. Şengün is your Oh my God, that sucks. And the Raptors win in 7 with Jaylen Brown being your finals MVP. LeBron, Harden, DeRozan, Holiday, Conley. A lot of people retiring this year. I can't believe we just lost. And we were like relatively healthy too. 3-1 lead. Like, how did we choke? How did we choke like that? We have the 29th pick in the draft. I mean, we've been getting better each year, so, like, I can't let go of Clifford, even though, like, there's so many better coaches out there. So let's bring back Steve Clifford. This might be a boring offseason. It does suck, though, because Harris is getting older, and so is Smart. Number 1 overall pick was Troy Graham, a center out of Brazil. We ended up with Pedro Costa, who was out of Gonzaga. We also got Everett Simon and Ralph Whitehead in the 2nd round. Tobias Harris decides to opt out. We're going to pick up on everybody else's team option. Mark Williams might get paid this offseason. If I could pull it off, I might look to upgrade at the starting shooting guard spot and get Andrew Nembhard, who could be a good 3-point shooter, good passer, great defender as well. If I could pull this off, I'd be very happy. I'm going to give him about like $15 million, 3 years. I don't know who we'd have to renounce the rights on. Could we renounce it on everybody else but Mark Will? Okay, hold on. I believe if we move VJ Miller, who was the 54th pick last year, to Washington for a first, okay, they want to do this. This is Yeah, sure. We'll do that. Just because now I should be able to keep Mark Williams with being able to sign Nembhard. There we go. So let's do that. Let's make sure Mark Williams doesn't get an offer from anybody else. And boom, there we go. So let's bring back Mark Williams. He wants a ton of money, but we are going to pay him that. Can we still get Tobias Harris back? Yes, we can. It's going to be on a 1-year deal, and we should be able to sign both. Boom. KD goes back to the Warriors. Would you look at that? Kyrie goes to the Grizzlies. Triple J to the Kings. I was hoping Lonzo would leave Toronto. Wemby's at 95. Mark Williams is in 83. Smart's regressing. So is Tobias. I wonder if he's going to be out of the rotation by year's end. If he's just getting cooked on defense. C- perimeter D. That's bad. Cody Martin is starting the year hurt. So we're going to start off with a 4-man bench. Give Wemby and LaMelo 36 a night. I'm just hoping we stay healthy. I might even turn injuries off for the final season just because I don't want this to ruin it. Yeah, that's going to be the case. I'll see you guys at the end of the year. We're probably going to win 60 plus games again. I'm excited. Damn, that's crazy. We're in the middle of March now, and Cody Martin is coming back from that ACL injury. We are 2 wins away now, 1 from 60 wins, and boom, on April 4th, we win our 60th game. Can we end the season with 64? Yes, we can. LaMelo takes home his 3rd straight MVP. Is he pulling a Jokic? Steve Clifford with Coach of the Year again. Wemby and LaMelo on all NBA first team. Wemby is absurd. Actually could save the franchise. And we are the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, taking on the Brooklyn Nets in round 1. They have Casey Wallace and KP. All right, LaMelo and Wemby, please take me to the promised land. Now Maxwell lose 60% true shooting. Hell yeah. All right. Don't lose a single game to Brooklyn and we walk. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? I'm going to fucking lose my mind. What more do you want me to do, 2K? What more? Like, I have the best player in the NBA. I just won the most games in the NBA and I lose to an 8 seed. You're killing me. Like, Andrew Nembhard was sick in those 5 games. Wemby played like an MVP. LaMelo, I guess he shot poorly. I haven't even made it to the NBA Finals in this video, and that was year 4. Shea is your Western Conference Finals MVP, and the Raptors, man. Ugh, what a dynasty they've built. They end up winning in 7. I think the Thunder might have blown a 3-1 lead. Steph is going to the Hall of Fame. He's probably joined by Jimmy Butler. No, wow. We didn't have our first round pick. We ended up with Will Love with Mr. Irrelevant. LaMelo Ball could be a free agent. Don't like that. Wemby and Maxwell Lewis need to get paid. All right, let's give LaMelo whatever he wants. I would like to bring back Nick Richards as well. And let's match this Wemby deal from the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know how Maxwell Lewis is still only a 74. Maybe it's because he was playing out of position. I don't know. We can't afford Tobias Harris. Bring him back on a 1-year deal. All right. We're seeing a lot of regression. Maybe I look to trade Mark Williams. I have no idea. Like, I was going to try to get Anthony Davis, but I really can't get there money-wise because he's making about $30 million more than Mark Williams. Like, yeah, I don't even think this would be able to get it done. Ugh, AD is just making way too much money. All right, so I'm going to make a trade at this deadline. We're going to be trading Mark Williams, who's been here for a while. But I'm going to go out and get Jalen Duren, who's been a journeyman over the past couple of seasons. He's on a 1-year deal in Atlanta. Atlanta gets some kind of security there at the 5. Mark Williams under contract for the next 3 years. Jalen Duren is a little bit better of a scorer. He's probably a better rebounder, and he's going to be our starting center. We're going to offer them a 1st-round pick as well. They want 2 1st-round picks. I don't want Clint Capella. I would give you 2 1st-round picks, though, to get it done. Yeah, I just don't need Clint Capella. All right, right now we currently have a 10-man rotation. I think, okay, wait, yeah, Cody Martin, you're not going to be starting for us. Never mind. We actually have a 9-man rotation. He's regressed, unfortunately. So is Tobias Harris, and I didn't really want him getting minutes in the playoffs either. I mean, we're, what, 27 games above 500 still. We're doing great, but I have no confidence in this team in the playoffs. LaMelo just won his 4th straight MVP. 4! We are the 1 seed for, I think, the 3rd straight season. Oh my God, if we don't win it all. This might be the death of me, but I really like this front court of Duren and Wemby. It's actually kind of sick. All right, so it's going to be LaMelo, Nembhard, Lewis, Wemby, Duren. I mean, Lewis is 6'7", so I don't think he's, like, undersized there. Richards, Smart, PJ Washington, Tobias Harris off the bench. We're going to that 9-man rotation. Wemby and LaMelo both need 40 minutes, and we're doing 36 to Duren. That's what we're doing. I probably should play Nembhard a couple more minutes because he's like an elite, or can be an elite shooter. So him and Lewis are going to get 30 apiece. Please be Indiana. They got Malachi Branham, who develops well in this game for sure, and they still have Halliburton. We've also the 8-seeded Nets in round 1 last year. What is going on? What is going on? Up 3-2. Holy crap. Why was this series that close? I don't really know what to say, man. I don't really know what to say. Maybe Nembhard was not a good addition. I thought he would be because he could play defense. He could shoot. He doesn't need the ball in his hands. The Raptors are a 4 seed. We're up 2-1. They tied 2-2. We're down 3-2. Are you kidding me? We're going to lose in round 2. They're going to blow me out. Oh my God, they're really going to blow me out. Are you serious? I wanted to win you a championship so bad, Charlotte. But what the What? Not gonna lie, this rebuild kind of sucked the life out of me. It really did. I was so happy about this duo, and I still can't win them a championship. F Toronto. All my homies hate Toronto. Orlando goes to the finals, and the Magic beat the Thunder in 7. Tobias Harris retires. This is basically turning into a 10-year rebuild. I'm firing Steve Clifford. I don't care at this point. Ty Lue, I'm trying to hire you. Hell, I'll take Billy Donovan at this point. Could I get Will Hardy? Mark Dagno? Maybe. I mean, Joe Prunty? Maybe. I'll offer him a contract. Prunty. So, we get none of them. I'm pissed at 2K right now. Like, I'm actually pissed. I don't want Chauncey Billups. We're going to end up with Steven Silas as our head coach. He just won Coach of the Year, though, so he's definitely built back up his reputation. So, yeah, if you go back to the draft lottery, we had the 6th pick via the Wizards. This was from, like, that Dallas Thomas trade, and we ended up with Karen Waters, the 6th overall pick. Crazy. So he might just replace Tobias Harris. Please tell me I'm able to bring back Jalen Duren. Oh, my God, I can't even afford him. Really? You're going to do that to me, 2K? I could give him $24 million. Okay, so we just need his price to go down. All right, there we go. We can get Jalen Duren. He will eventually accept this offer. I would not mind him back for a multi-year deal, but I'll get him back on that 1-year deal. I mean, it really doesn't matter at this point. I'm going to sign Josh Green as well if I want to play him. Wemby's in 95. LaMelo's in 93. Marcus Smart's regressing. So LaMelo does not win MVP this year. It goes to Luka Doncic, who's on the Heat. Whoever has Billy Donovan as their head coach wins 70-12. No more LaMelo on first team. He's on the second team. So I assume that's the OKC Thunder, but we are the 1 seed once again. This is the final season. We went 54-24. Okay. The Raptors 40-34. At least they're on the other side. Here are the player stats. LaMelo and Wemby both 24.8 points. Duren with 17-10. Nembhard, the efficiency has been pretty bad. I mean, I guess the true shooting's up this year. There's Maxwell Lewis. Okay, might not even start him for the playoffs. I honestly might start Karen Waters over him. I don't know. That is brutal, and the bench isn't great. Honestly, final season, I've gotten my heart broken so many times. I'm just going to do it. Let's simulate the playoffs. It is what it is. Oh, my God. Watch me lose to an 8 seed. We win in 7. We beat the MVP. Oh, my God. We're in the finals. Look at that. Final season. Yeah. Scoot Henderson versus Wemby in the finals. Can we please win it all? Nope. We get swept. We finally get to the finals just to get embarrassed. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this rebuild. Technically, we did save the franchise because we became relevant again, and we have just one of the best young players ever. Drop a like if you did enjoy. That is just crazy, my lack of playoff success in this one. Well, you can't win them all. Hope you guys enjoyed either way. Drop a like if you did enjoy. And make sure you check out my podcast. Episode 1 just dropped in the description. It's on Spotify, Apple Pod. Also, a YouTube version if you want to check it out over there. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.